Hey guys, this is me performing the second oil change on the Ducati Scrambler. First oil change was done at 600 miles during the first service. This is the second oil change and I have about 3,000 miles. I'm not going to wait to the 7,000 mark just because I ride this thing a little hard. And every second service they require you to remove the pre-filter mesh, which you can see right here. Oh, there's some metal shavings in there, but nothing too crazy. Pretty much these shavings are from the break-in. Yeah, it's gonna happen even when the transmission and engine share the same oil. So this ain't too bad. I am going to be using an OEM Ducati filter. I'm also replacing the crush washer and the drain plug, and here's the magnet again. Not too bad, one shaving of metal there. And this is the plug for the pre-mesh filter. I'm going to be changing the gasket too with OEM. These crush washer and gaskets are like 50 cents to a $1 each, so it's a cheap peace of mind. You won't have a leak after torquing everything down. And that's it. This being my Ducati Scrambler's second oil change, I opted to switch the OEM shell oil to a Motul. I run Motul in my Volkswagen. Had no issues. The filter is less dirty, and overall a good oil, especially if you put this bike into storage. It will stick to the metal surfaces better. OEM Ducati filter, crush washer for the drain plug, gasket for the pre-filter mesh plug. The pre-filter mesh plug is a 14mm hex socket. The drain plug is a 5mm hex socket. Have a spark plug wrench to help break the pre-filter plug, and picked up a oil filter wrench. So I can actually put a torque wrench on here to torque it to the proper spec. We don't want to leak. So I started this video not in order, but in order to access the pre-filter mesh plug, you have to remove the bottom half of the exhaust header, which I just took it off with the slip-on. It took 30 seconds, no big deal, no special tools, just the pliers to get the exhaust springs off the hooks. Here's a peek at the oil. Not too bad for 3,000. Well, this just happened. So the proper torque sequence or spec for the drain plug is 31 Newton meters. I find that to be a bit too high for a soft aluminum drain plug, so I cut that in half, about 15 Newton meters. Well, I went to torque it. I didn't come close to 5 Newton meters, and the flange of the OEM drain plug snapped right off. Luckily, I still got the plug out, but that is a safety feature. My guess is Ducati dealer did the first service at 600. They over torqued this bolt because it was a pain to get off, and there's a bunch of thread sealer around it. So my thought or theory is that this weakened or put stress cracks in the flange, and then I went to tighten it, it snapped right off. So I can't put oil in the bike right now. But a couple of days went by, I picked up a aftermarket drain plug with a I believe it's a 12 or 13 socket head on it, and uses a O-ring instead of a crush washer. So we'll see how this goes. I'm still going to torque it to 14 or 15 Newton meters, and we'll see how it goes. So you can see I have the new aftermarket drain plug installed and torqued. I did say it was 14 Newton meters. It's actually, I torqued it to 19 Newton meters, which is 14 foot-pounds. That's what this drain plug manufacturer recommends. And it worked. Nothing stripped. It uses an O-ring. And we'll see how it goes. Torque wrench of choice was my Snap-on Tech Angle, 5 to 100 foot-pounds. Does forward and reverse torque, and also angle. So highly recommended. Now let's put oil in this bad boy. So the oil capacity of the Scrambler is 3.7 liters, which converted to quarts is 3.9 quarts. So far I did not start the bike. I filled it up to the between the minimum and maximum line. I think I put just over 3 quarts in it. We'll fire it up and let the engine cycle the oil. We will recheck 10 minutes after shutdown. So I let the bike settle for 10 minutes. I am using a frame stand. So I'm going to show you the sight glass, but the bike's leaning towards the right a little. And I'm holding my cell phone, so I can't really try leveling the bike off. So the sight glass looks completely full, but I can assure you when you put the bike on the ground and hold it level, it's just a hair above the max mark, which you still have a gap in the sight glass, which is fine. This bottle holds says 3.8 liters, 1 gallon. Spec bike holds 3.7 liters, so I see nothing wrong with it. While I waited for the bike to cool off, I installed one of the sliders I purchased from Evotech. Basically, you just remove the frame bolt through the engine, slide a new slider in, torques to 64 Newton meters. It probably took me 30 seconds to install this. And yeah, looks pretty good. So that's the conclusion of my Ducati Scrambler's oil change. Simple. Thought I'd just make a video, have fun with it. Nothing special. I may make more videos, so we'll see what happens. Take care, guys.